When I'm down to the main event of the evening. Cruiserweight contest of this one. It's a grudge fight that the whole world's been waiting for. And that moment you've been waiting for is here. Chaos in the ring. Time to bring out the boxers to make their ring work. First up to make his ring work, to fight out of the red corner. Make welcome Browne, Bullet Bro Glanton.
But there's real beef between these two.
Browne, it is Marcus Browne first.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's call out the first blue corner. And the man, Marcus Browne.
Interesting choice of ring work music there. Very popular tune on the African continent.
That's a smart move from Marcus Browne, who's already trying to win the fans over. And I think that he will win the fans over. There's his record, 25 wins, only 2 defeats. And they've come in top caliber. Jean Pascal, he lost to. And Artur Beterbiev, that was a loss, KO in 9 rounds. But this guy can really fight. Southpaw, like I say, them 2 defeats, world-class opposition, 16 KOs. This one should be brilliant.
Absolutely. When you mentioned Artur Beterbiev, I'm like, that's like really top. Yeah, and he's got 2 losses. One of them is to that man.
Yeah, and Jean Pascal is a former world champion, great fighter as well, and he boxed Pascal in his backyard, losing on points to Pascal, who's a tough guy. Now, if you can do comparisons, Jean Pascal, short, squat, very powerful. Brandon Glanton, similar sort of style.
And his opponent to fight out of the red corner, ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Browne, Bullet Bro Glanton.
So it means he has to make his ring walk after, because that's what you do. That's the boxing rule anyways, Spence.
So we do it all again. We said it, Brandon Glanton, last fight against Chris Bingham Smith back in April. That was for the WBO World Cruiserweight title. He lost that one on points, which showed a lot of character. Showed that he belongs in world class, and he's up against a world class opponent in Marcus Browne. And he gets a chance to keep his career alive, really, at this stage. It's a must-win fight for both of these guys at top level. Been with Brandon Glanton all week, staying in at my hotel. He's a cool customer. There goes the fireworks. There goes the fireworks, and I expect fireworks in the ring as well here. Miran, I think that we're going to really have an explosive fight here. Styles make fights, and this should be a barnstormer.
Absolutely. You know what I love about it as well? When it comes to, fighters, and interestingly, is that a Nigerian flag?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you telling me?
I'm telling you that they're both trying to win the crowd.
Okay, let's go back to Ralph Chidozie, George.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you all been waiting for. Bamura Group Promotions, led by Dr. Ezekiel Adamu, in conjunction with Emil Khan Promotions, led by the legendary Emil Khan, presenting the feature bout of the evening of Chaos in the Ring, powered by Bet Niger, Amstel Malta, Octera Capital, Waka Now, Climax, Elite Box Fitness, Lagos State Sports Commission, Lagos State Government, National Sports Commission, of which the Director General Honorable Bukola Olokbade is here and will later have handshake with the fighters. 8 rounds of boxing for the WBO Africa Heavyweight. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing for the Cruiserweight contest. Sanctioned by the Nigerian Boxing Board of Control, led by Dr. Rafiu Oladipo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce the MBB of C stewards for this bout. Introducing the glove master Oladipo Babalola and your ring marshal Adewale Abe. Your timekeepers are Titilopo Gunkunle, Prince Ade Olofin, your ring doctors, Dr. Tajuddin Sule, Dr. Chike Ilukwe, your treasurer, Dr. Kayode Gomez. Your supervisor for the bout is Dr. Rafiu Oladipo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now tell you the fact that the boxers are ready. They are in the ring. The officials are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Fight fans, if you are ready, for those in attendance and the thousands watching around the world on DAZN, crunch time! 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. Ladies and gentlemen, concept fighting out of New Jersey, United States of America. He weighs 199.2 pounds with a career record of 27 bouts, 25 wins, 2 losses. 16 of his wins are coming by way of knockouts. He stands at 6 feet 1.5 inches tall. He is the former WBC USA light heavyweight champion, the former WBC silver heavyweight champion, the former IBF and a WBC light heavyweight world title challenger. Introducing for the very first time in the rings of any country in Africa, live from the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Mako and introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, comes in clad in black trunks. He comes fighting out of Newman, Georgia, United States of America. He weighs 199.6 pounds with a career record of 23 fights, 20 wins, 3 losses. 17 of his 20 wins coming by way of knockouts. He stands at 6 feet tall, the former WBO Global Cruiserweight Champion, the former WBO International Cruiserweight Champion, Brandon Bullet Bro Glanton. And the referee comes forward to give instructions to the fighters.
Fight fans all over the world,
gentlemen,
let's go.
We're ready
it's
for this.
time
We
for the
went
main
over the rules
event.
earlier.
And
Protect
it's
yourself
going
at all
to
times.
be
Lock gloves,
an
best
American grudge match
And
right here
we're
in the
expecting a
city
great
of
fight.
Lagos,
10 rounds of
Nigeria.
boxing.
Still with my bosses in the commentary box, Spence Oliver and Denzel Bentley. Let's go to Spence first.
Yep, you make or break for both of these Americans, and the fight lands in Lagos, Nigeria. What an opportunity for both of these guys at this stages of their careers, looking to relight the flame, get back into world title contention. A win does that for here, and for the loser, it's a tough road back.
Yeah, most definitely. Neither men can afford to lose. They don't like each other neither, so it's genuinely bad blood. So, I mean, I saw the build-up, I was watching the build-up, and they just do not get along. I mean, I don't think they'll be friends after this fight neither, which is going to make for an even more interesting fight, because they're fighting just bad blood, and we all love that, to be honest, in boxing.
Yeah, but we still want them to, have the spirit of sportsmanship afterwards. Whoever wins, good luck to that person.
Well, do you know what? I think they get that spirit, and I'll tell you why. Because it's such a gladiatorial sport that only these two guys are ever going to share this moment, and they're doing it in Nigeria. Now, whilst the fight is going on, that you gain that respect that you didn't know you'd have. Because, like I say, it's a moment that only these two guys are going to share, and so all the hate that they built up is because they're trying to, or they want to win the fight. And I think once that's gone, it's a moment they've only got, and that's where you get that respect.
Absolutely. And just for our fight fans all over the world watching, everywhere on the zone worldwide, just the man who calls himself the Bulletproof is in the black trunks, and that's of course Brandon Glanton. And then of course the one who reversed himself as, I think he's been knighted by the King of England. He calls himself Sir, and we're talking about Marcus Browne. Yeah, it looks like Brandon is really taking this thing serious. He ain't joking about it, because he's coming out from his corner, and the look on his face, just like Denzel said, it's like there's a lot of wanting to prove a point.
Yeah, Brandon's the more emotional of the two, because I spoke to both of them, in the build-up to this one this week, and Marcus Browne said, listen, I don't know where the beef's come from. Maybe that's Brandon Glanton trying to build that beef up to get himself up for the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's come from. From Brandon Glanton, maybe have took it a little bit more personally, and he started that way by taking centre of the ring, and he's really loading up with all those shots. But then he done that when he boxed Chris Billam-Smith at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last time out, losing on points. But he was, he was having some tough times against Billam-Smith. But what he showed me was that he can weather those storms and he can come through those tough times. So this is a great, great fight. On paper, a 50-50. Browne may be marginally the favourite because of what he's done, but Brandon Glanton's ready to rip up that script.
Absolutely. All you need to just do is look at his aggression and not giving any space at all to Marcus Browne, Denzel.
Yeah, I mean, and he's doing it because he knows Marcus Browne is the better boxer, technically. I mean, this is the guy that was on the US Olympic team, so he can box. He's slick southpaw. You've all seen him before. But Brandon Glanton genuinely believes, and he is the bigger, stronger man. He's the natural cruiserweight. Marcus Browne is stepping up to cruiserweight for the first time in his career. He's been out for a while in active, so he's probably naturally grown into that weight. But I guess the early rounds is going to be how much pressure Brandon Glanton can put on Marcus Browne, and how much pressure Marcus Browne can absorb from Brandon Glanton. And as the rounds go on, if he's still in any good shape, he can box way to a victory. But the stronger man and the bully in this fight will be Brandon Glanton, but it's how effective he can be early on.
Yeah, and it's all obvious. Brandon wants to get in there early, try and wear down his opponent, and make sure that the fight doesn't go the distance. Because, like you said, the man that's lovely exchange coming from. Whoa! But Brandon Glanton is saying that was a below the belt punch there.
We'll have to have a look back in the slow motion, see if we can see that one, because it was a good exchange, a heated exchange from both guys there. Both guys having their successes, to be fair. Marcus Browne boxing well out of that southpaw style, throwing punches in bunches, but Brandon Glanton was that guy trying to be bullish and closing the space down. It was a very close round and a difficult one to separate. No one really stamped their authority in it, but they're both trying to command centre of the ring, because I think that's where the fight is won and lost here. Let's take a look at the action, and here we see the exchanges, and yet they were definitely waistline. They could say they definitely sort of went low. Two of those shots that went in, actually. Glanton was waiting for the referee to come in. I think it was on the blind side of the referee. But this one, expect it to heat up.
Absolutely, and that below the belt punch there is not going to be helping any issues at all. But just like Denzel said, it looks like we're going to be seeing Marcus Browne gradually, trying to, edge his game back into the fight. And it does look like Glanton doesn't want him doesn't want him to be comfortable at all. He wants to be all over his face, not giving any opportunity at all, because I think he also knows that if he gives Marcus Browne the space, he's going to be able to exhibit his skills and all the stuff.
What Browne's trying to do right now is that he's the one with the better boxing skills. He's better at range and keeping the space, controlling the space, not particularly moving, but controlling the space. But what he's trying to do early on here is take the fight to Brandon Glanton and take away what he's best at, and then that way he feels like he's commanded that respect. And when you command the respect of your opponent, your opponent starts thinking, and it shouldn't be. It should be instinctive. As soon as you start thinking, you're a little bit slow off the mark, and at this level, that's not good enough. You're going to get caught, and the other guy's not going to be there, because Browne is the boxer, as Denzel said. You know, you go back to 2012 London Olympics. Browne competed in those London Olympics. He has that pedigree, so he can box on the outside, but he's trying to take away the main assets here of Brandon Glanton. Interesting tactics.
Yeah, I think that's interesting tactics. They're both, you know, throwing good body punches. Someone's straining a little low. I think there's some sneaky tactics there, hitting each other on the thighs and stuff, and all these things. But they're both throwing good body punches overall. But I think what Browne's doing, I think he's realised he's not getting the space, like you said, Milan, to move as freely as he wants to. So he's working up close and tying up Brandon Glanton and not allowing Brandon Glanton to get his work off. So when Brandon feels like he can't box in close, that's when Marcus is going to take that step back and box around him. I'm guessing that's the game plan from what I'm looking at right now.
Interesting stuff. Two different boxes. Oh, lovely right jab there, but doesn't seem to face Browne, who seems to have a very good chin on himself there. And he's not taking it as, like we said, emotional as Glanton is doing it. And you see those heavy body punches just coming right in between the rib there. Yeah. Very, very painful. I'm sure you could tell us more about that, Denzel.
Yeah, I mean, those shots hurt and they take its toll. I mean, as the round goes on, they take the gas out of you and you start slowing down. Brandon Glanton's boxing with a lot of pressure. He's using a lot of strength, and that could also take a lot of air away from him, because he's trying too hard. He's being very tense. Plus them body shots, I'll be surprised if he can keep this pressure on moving forward. But also Browne, finding some sneaky shots on the inside.
Yeah, impressive stuff here from Browne, working off the ropes, covering up, taking his time, staying nice and relaxed, like you say. I think that Glanton is the guy that's putting on the heat and maybe boxing at a higher level at the moment, but then can he sustain that? Will he blow a gasket by trying to push it like that? Because Browne seems very much in his comfort zone, and I think Browne done enough to win that round on the back foot. I think he was putting the shots together well. His short game was very, very effective, and Brandon Glanton may be a little bit guilty of over-trying there.
He is. He's guilty of over-trying. I think he's coming there emotional. He's coming off a loss, so he doesn't want to lose back-to-back. Like he's trying to, because there's a lot of motion. He doesn't like it. Great body punches there from Browne. I mean, both right into the mix section. And Browne is so comfortable in his position because he's fought the higher level of opposition. Been in there with Beterbiev, been in there with Jean Pascal, been in there with a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, an Olympian. So he's got the more experience, which is why he's so relaxed under pressure. He's seen this style before. I mean, you fight Artur Beterbiev, sorry. I mean, just before the Bivol fight, that's 100% knockout ratio. Only man to knock him out, and he put up a good fight there. So this isn't going to faze him at all.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's going to. I love the fact that he's, taking a whole lot of pressure, but he's doing it on the ropes. And when you do that, it's not taking a whole lot out of your energy, because you have something you're leaning on and you're resting on. And I've seen a few situations in the first 2 rounds where, at the early stage you see Brandon Glanton come into it very strong, but he doesn't seem to finish the rounds very strongly. But he's coming up strong this time.
Look who's burning up all the energy here. Brandon Glanton's a guy that's pushing, he's hustling, he's trying to do that. And look how relaxed Marcus Browne is on the ropes. He's doing that peekaboo style shoulder roll, he's throwing his shots in. But look, that's relaxed stuff. He's not burning the energy there, where Brandon Glanton is burning the energy and he's slamming those body shots in as well. Dens, we've all been hit with them, mate, and they take the wind out of you, man. They slow you up, and that's one of those. And he's putting the shots together for a guy that's been out of the ring for some time here. Browne's boxing brilliantly.
He's boxing well, like I said earlier. He's soaked up the pressure, but when he comes up with these shots, he throws in 2s and 3s. He doesn't just throw single shots and sit there. He goes head and body, he switches the attack, so you don't really know where to defend, unless you're just defending generically, just cover up everything. You want to open up before your shots. And like you said earlier, Brandon Glanton burning a lot of energy trying to be too tense and too physical. But Browne is just staying relaxed. He's not wrestling with him. He's allowing him to press, but when he finds the gap, he shoots to the body and comes over with a hook or the other way around. And it's really effective. But look at the uppercut there. Just skin Glanton. But that's good work from Browne.
Absolutely, and just to actually let our audience know what's going on, Browne hasn't fought since 2023. That's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's fighting someone who just fought in April.
Yeah, it's incredible. And that rest may have done him good at this stage of his career because he's boxing beautifully here on the inside. He's countering really, really well. You know, like I say, he has that pedigree, so he knows when to turn it up. He knows when to reserve the energy, and that's what he's doing so well here. He's allowing Glanton to come on. Glanton is, like I say, he's in 5th gear right now. He's going full throttle. And that's a hard thing to do over 10 rounds. I know he has the engine and he's got that, but when you got a guy like Browne whacking away on the inside the way that he's doing, but throwing punches in bunches and then controlling things at range as well, that's a difficult guy to beat.
It is. It's a very difficult guy to beat because it's like, what do you do? What can you capitalize on? And he's not taking the time to look and analyze what he's got in front of him. That's a good solid jab there from Glanton though. Marcus just walked onto that shot. I think it may have had a little effect on him because he's opted to tie up and just soak up a few shots right now. But the way Browne is boxing, like you said, Spence, he's been out for two years, like you said, Niran. And I believe there's no ring rust when you stay in the gym. This is the man that stays in the gym, and this is a prime example of that. There's no ring rust because he's been active.
But here's the thing, though. This is what Marcus Browne may be, Brandon Glanton may be banking on, and that's why he's fighting like a ball in there right now. This kid has been inactive, and yeah, you can get gym fit, but you can't get ring fit, and you know you need to stay active because activity is key. And I think Brandon Glanton is banking on this. Let me lose the first few rounds because I know that I'm going to because Browne's a better boxer. But when I take him into those later rounds and the penultimate rounds, when you go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the second half of the fight, you go, that's when I come into my own because he starts slowing down and I keep wearing on. That might be Brandon Glanton's tactics looking at it here, but it's taking a lot of energy doing that. And if Browne has that engine to go, this could be a tough night for Glanton.
Absolutely, and you can see all those uppercuts coming from Marcus Browne. He's doing a great job. Really, like, he's fighting this fight and he wants it to go the way he wants it to go. You know, he smothers, he clinches when he needs to, and then throws his punches. And Brandon is just coming bullish, you know, just wants to walk like a moving train and just take out his opponent. And you can't always do that to an opponent.
And that's the difference in the IQ between the two fighters. Brandon Glanton knows one way: grind you down and hurt you, beat you up. And Marcus Browne's a lot smarter, a lot cuter, and a lot more to his game. But even in this instance, you're talking about going a distance, Spence, and who's fitter and who's not and who's inactive. Marcus Browne coming up from light heavyweight, it means he's got a lot more fuel on him. I mean, he doesn't look too ripped to shreds. He doesn't look like he's in great shape, but he doesn't look like he struggled to make the weight. Brandon Glanton's a big man. He's a big guy. I mean, I saw him in the hotel making the weight, and you know, it was probably harder for him to make the weight than it was Marcus Browne. So that could also take a toll on him. Making the weight, how did he make it? Did he make it good? Did he struggle? Moving forward, as the rounds go on, we'll see. I mean, Marcus Browne's had a good rest. His body's healed up, moved up in weight, and I don't think he struggled to make it, if I'm being honest.
Yep, loads of ifs, buts and maybes, and that's what makes this such a fascinating fight because we've all got an idea but none of us really know. And Browne slams in the uppercut again there off the ropes. Glanton takes it so well, but then we saw Glanton against Chris Smith, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and he showed his toughness, you know, and he's prepared to go to war. He said that, he knows it's going to be tough. He knows he's in with pedigree, but he's going to have to bite through that, and that's what champions do. Let's see. It's tough for Brandon Glanton right now. Marcus Browne controlling these early rounds, but there's a load of twists and turns you just suspect in this one.
Yeah, people trying to wear each other down with different strategies, you know, and look at that again. I don't know how it was, but it's a lovely uppercut there coming from Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, Browne's just relaxed. He's against the rope, but there's no panic. There's no panic from him. Look, good body shot. He's finding these shots in there. But Brandon's just trying to grind him down, but I think he's burning more energy than he needs to. But that's the only way he knows how to. His best hope is that Browne can't sustain this pressure and starts to feel the pace. But where Browne isn't wrestling back with him, I think he will still feel the pace, but not as much as Glanton is expecting him to. He's still going to throw these little short, sharp, chippy shots when he gets the chance to. In 2s and 3s, great hook there from Glanton, great return, great answer there from Browne. And this is the flurries I'm talking about. Once he gets that space, he just lets them go.
Absolutely, and he does know how to do his own. You know, he catches Brandon every now and then clinches again. But Brandon doesn't know even bother about clinching. He just wants to just bulldoze his way all through there.
I tell you what, this is textbook stuff from both guys here. When you're looking at talking about inside fighting, both guys putting it on each other's heads. You know, Marcus Browne using the shoulder, leaning over the shoulder, short clusters of punches. You know, and Brandon Glanton taking those shots and just giving himself enough space to get off the shots as well. This is prime inside fighting we're seeing here from two gladiators.
It just reminds me of early rounds between Tyson and Holyfield. Two guys who love to fight on the inside, and the referee could barely separate both of them. You know, he splits them, and then the next second their heads and heads together again, and they're throwing uppercuts. They're using their shoulders, you know, knocking each other out, and it's non-stop action we're seeing right here.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It is non-stop action. But I think if Marcus Browne had the options, he would box, you know, moving. But I feel like if he moves, he feels like Brandon Glanton will just be on him too much, and it may waste more energy than him just standing there and reserving it and coming back in between. I mean, look, that was a great uppercut there from Glanton, the lead uppercut. But then look at this response from Marcus Browne. Look, straight down to the body, 2 hooks and then back to the body and then back up top. I mean, Glanton can't even see where the punches are coming from because he's not looking at his opponent, he's looking down because he wants his head on his chest.
Yeah.
That's another thing he's got to look out for, and that's why he's so open to these uppercuts.
Yeah, great breakdown there, and you look at a round that was close, and I'm looking at you, Denz, and I'm looking at you as well, and I'm going, what way are we going here? Iran, are we going for Brandon Glanton? Do we go for Browne? And Denzel Bentley breaks it down, and you watch the slow-mos, and you go, yep, it's just Browne just nicking the rounds through the clusters of punches in bunches and the cleaner work, and Brandon Glanton, yeah, it is a big effort, but Browne may be just nicking in these opening rounds, and that could be crucial when you get into that second half of the fight.
Yeah, we are definitely halfway through the fight. It's a 10-round contest, round 5 it is, and I have a feeling that Browne's got some, you know, rabbit to pull out of the hat when we get to round 6 and 7. I think he's going to start doing the movement thing because he knows at that time Glanton, that's a massive.
See, this is where Browne's got to be careful. When he is opting to move, his chin comes up a little bit, and that's what Glanton wants him to do. I think Glanton wants him to move, and he's going to come sweeping hooks over the top. He just caught him there, you know, going around. Oh, another great hook there from Glanton. This is
that's below the belt. That was low.
Yeah, that was another dirty shot there because I tell you, like, Glanton was getting momentum. He landed a huge right hand before that one. The short left hook in there as well, and you know. You look at the guys now, and Glanton still looks fresh as a daisy. Is Marcus Browne just starting to feel the pace a little bit here? We're going to see, because Glanton's going to be in his face. It's going to be interesting in the second half of the fight. That's what we said it was.
Once again, he lunges forward with good exchanges, and he's catching Marcus Browne.
Yeah, good work again, and I'll tell you what, I don't know if Browne's sort of just starting to unravel a little bit in this round.
The fitness could be the issue now because, you know, like we said, he's not 4 foot 2 years, and after a while, I think that's what, like you said, that was a leg punch. Referee had called for a break, and then of course Browne landed, and Glanton landed another left hook there, a right hook there.
Yeah, Browne happy to hold now as well. There's been a massive turn here in the 5th round. Marcus Browne may be doing enough to nick the early rounds, but there's definite round here for Brandon Glanton, who's really applying the pressure. And for the first time in the contest, Marcus Browne looking to tie in the inside. And Denzel, we're not seeing those clusters of punches anymore, and we're not seeing them silky, classy moves. And maybe he's getting drawn into that dogfight, and that's where Glanton likes to be.
Yeah, I think this is Glanton's best round. Browne really needs to find something and you know, just pick it up a little bit, because he's definitely losing this round. But also, I just like to say, I think the ref needs to be a little bit more assertive. I mean, he's letting too much go. I'm looking at this fight, and I'm seeing both fighters in the clinch intentionally hitting each other low.
Yeah.
One does it and the other one's getting them back. The ref needs to be assertive and say, listen, I'll take a point off, and that changes the fight. Hope neither fighter will do it, because I mean, listen, we all want a fair result. We don't want any fouls in here and whatever. I get it's a fight, but it's heated. There's a lot on the line, but we don't need anything unnecessary and dirty.
Yeah, especially with the heads as well. If you take a look at when they get close to each other, they swing in their heads in a way that it looks like the other one is trying to make sure that somebody gets a cut or something. So they need to keep it clean. No matter what, you might want to play on the inside. You still have to ensure that your heads do not clash too many times, because you know what a cut can do in a fight like this.
Yeah, tape just come loose there from Marcus Browne. But just before that, guys, and this is something that I wanted to pick up on, it was Brandon Glanton, when they were getting inside, he was the one trying to push him off. He was the one trying to work, and it was actually Marcus Browne that had his head on his shoulder, like we've seen, but the one that was happy to keep him there and keep him inside. Is that a sign there? You know, you're looking at the body language. Denzel, we've been there, so we know what it is, and you know what the fighters are feeling. And for me right now, if I was putting my money somewhere, I'd say Glanton is starting to get a real foothold in this.
Yeah, he is, and I looked at the two faces, and Glanton looks the fresher of the two. He's breathing through his nose. You know, Marcus Browne's mouth slightly open. He's getting tossed about, and this is where the strength of Glanton is probably kicking in. He is, like I said, he's a big, strong man. He's a unit. So another shot coming in from Glanton as Marcus just comes in, but he's the stronger man, and you know, that pressure and his physicality is probably taking a toll on Marcus Browne now. Maybe he needs a round to just suck it up. Quick return from Browne on the bell, but that's still a Glanton round for me.
Yeah, still a Brandon Glanton round, and then of course Marcus Browne tried to come in, but I think it was a bit too late. Left it a bit too late there. A good combination, but I'm not sure whether that's going to win him that round.
No, definitely not. I think Browne, yeah, he had to do something there, because I think the momentum was all with Glanton. Here's some of the action in the round. Glanton pushing forward. There's them short hooks where he was getting the success, and the uppercuts on the inside as well. Low blow again there from Browne, and is that a sign of tiredness as well and desperation? He's been around the block a long time, Marcus Browne, boxed at the highest level. You know how to nick a breather. Little dirty shot underneath, try and put the elbow in. That's enough for the referee to jump in and give you a warning, but not a public warning. But there was some good work from both guys there, but for me, Glanton and cleaner work.
Yeah, most definitely the cleaner work. His aggression is finally paying off. You know, Marcus Browne is feeling the pace here. You know, early it was working for him, but listen, there's only so much of that you can take of someone of that weight that's naturally a cruiserweight, just sitting in your chest and beating at your body for so long. I mean, early I thought Browne had the better body work, and I think Browne needs to up back to this movement, the movement of the head and just slipping and sliding, and making Glanton chase him about a little bit before going back to what he was doing earlier and sitting on the ropes and returning in between. But some of these shots are straight low. The ref needs to get a hold of them and just...
It's actually at the blind side of the referee, and I think the referee's noticed that he's actually decided to go on the other side so that he can actually spot whatever is going on.
The referee was positioned in the wrong position. That's why he's standing on the wrong side. He shouldn't have been there anyway. He should have had more of a foothold on it. This is good work from Browne, who's trying to dig in, but Glanton's not letting him off the hook. Look, bulldozing him on the ropes there. He's like that real bull effect, driving the shots in, and this is really physical, this now, and trust me, the physicalities are soon going to go out of this, and it's going to be a psychological battle for both of these guys, and who wants it most. But one thing I know, because I know Brandon Glanton, he has that mental strength. Has Marcus Browne got it? You know, he come apart in the end against Artur Beterbiev, who was applying pressure like this as well. Brandon Glanton has done his homework, because he's not making it pretty, he's making it rough, he's making it tough, and he's making it his fight.
Absolutely, and it's working for him. At the start, like you said, it wasn't looking like, Browne was able to pick him out. But right now, he seems to be getting on the ascendancy, and you can see him, lean his head onto the chest and throw some, bolo shots across on the top, and they seem to be connected.
Yeah, I mean, it's paying off now, that the tactics that Glanton started off with. But I think more than anything, it's just because Browne can't hurt him. He can't hurt him. I mean, he threw the flurries, he threw all the shots, and Glanton's just been walking through them. So the fact he knows he can't hurt him, he's just not going to back off. He's going to keep steaming forward. And
two big uppercuts there coming from Browne. But like you said, still don't hurt Glanton, and still relentless, keep forging forward. But I think it's time for Browne to change tactics.
Yeah.
He needs to start moving around, stick and jab, and just get on with.
Yeah, he needs to throw short shot flurries and get to maybe great shot there. from Browne, but Glanton comes straight back and good. This blood from Glanton. I think he's hurt Browne. He's hurt Browne there. Browne's hurt.
I tell you what, Brandon Glanton won't be denied here. He took a couple of shots and one of them stung him. You saw his leg stiffen and he bit down on his gum shield, come back and had Browne in all sorts of trouble. Fantastic action here in the 6th round, but Brandon Glanton is a man on a mission, a man that won't be denied right now.
He will not be denied. He wants this victory more than anything right now, and you can see that. Great uppercuts in there. You know, the body language, you know, he's stuck to his tactics and he's keeping that pressure on him, and he can feel Browne fading. That's 3 uppercuts in a row. Wow, what a round.
I think he was saved by the belt there. I think he was saved by the belt there. Those 3 consecutive uppercuts were really good. They were making their mark on Browne, and he was lucky. I think it's time. He can't keep staying on the ropes, because look at it from the playback. It's now looking like Glanton has already found the key, and he knows how to keep resting, smothering Browne, and then throwing those uppercuts and those follow shots.
Yeah, he's found his rhythm. You know, this is where Glanton likes to be. He likes to be in the pocket. He likes to do all that sort of stuff. And I think for Browne, he's a stylish boxer, southpaw style, punches in bunches. We saw glimpses of that in the early rounds. But like I said, Glanton's obviously come with a game plan saying, listen, I'll give those first few rounds away because let's see what he's like when I take him in a dogfight, when I make it rough, when it becomes psychological, not physical. And, well, the physical side is coming from Glanton as well, but he's making a psychological game, and the eye now is swelling. Is there a cut on Marcus Browne as well? Things not going his way.
And you can see, it's over. Absolutely over.
And they've retired in the corner. Brandon Glanton gets the victory.
He's actually bullied Browne to submission.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we've just seen here.
Exactly what just happened. That is exactly what just happened.
He doesn't have any strength anymore to go further. And then, of course, that eye swelling up, he knows it's going to be a big one. But you can see the spirit of sportsmanship. We thought that this man was going to be animated, and see what it means to him.
That was a brilliant win there from Brandon Glanton, beating Marcus Browne, who was, you know, a former top fighter, and taking nothing away from Glanton. He stole Marcus Browne's soul there. That's what happened. Marcus Browne knew the fight was leaving him. We saw it, a dramatic turnaround from round 5, where you go, hold on a minute, is Browne just slowing down a little bit here? Round 6 was a really tough round for Browne, and Browne knew when he was coming out, this kid's not going to be denied. I'm taking unnecessary punishment that's only going to get tougher. He stole the man's soul there, and he done what he had to do. That was a brilliant performance from Brandon Glanton, and I tell you what, he puts himself in the world title picture now. Big fights on the horizon, career kept alive. Where does Marcus Browne go now? He's going to have some serious words with himself and have to ask himself some serious questions. Well done, Brandon Glanton.
I mean, I think Marcus Browne just needs to, you know, take a step back. He's been out the ring 2 years. Just, you know, build himself back, build himself into a real cruiserweight, and he can get back, you know, he can get more on. I think he's a good fighter, but Brandon Glanton definitely has to move on now, put himself in that conversation for, you know, world title, you know, contention and all these things. And it just come to my attention, the bad blood between these two came from back in 2019 when Marcus Browne was preparing for Jean Pascal. I think he brought Brandon Glanton into camp, and they clashed really bad. And I think since then, Glanton's been holding feelings and has wanted this fight since then.
Wait, I don't get it. Glanton was meant to be his sparring partner.
He was a sparring partner for Marcus Browne back in 2019.
Why would you want to take
against
out
Pascal?
Your fighter, who's getting ready for another fight?
Yeah, I mean,
possibly
they were different stages of their career, and I spoke to Brandon about this. He was doing it for the experience, because Marcus Browne was the world-class operator who was boxing for the world titles in Montreal against, you know, Jean Pascal. So he saw it as a huge opportunity to learn something, and he went in there to learn from a guy that he respected and got disrespected. And I think that's where the bad blood comes from. Browne said he'd never done that, but Brandon Glanton since 2019 has always held that grudge. Wow, what a way to get the grudge back though, eh? Out here, Lagos, Nigeria, and getting a 6th round stoppage or retirement on the store at the end of the 6th round.
Nah, I think it's still early. Come on, Spence.
Brilliant performance.
It's still 27 years old, Marcus Browne. Funny enough, he's actually younger
Yeah.
He's actually younger than Brandon Glanton, who's actually 33, 6 years
Absolutely.
in between the two of them.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, all I'm saying is at this stage of his career, because of what he's achieved, he's got to ask himself serious questions because the way the fight ended. Look, Denzel Bentley's a fighter. You go, look, I'm not going out on my stool, mate. I'm going out on my shield. That is where it is. And when you go out on your stool, that's when the fight is leaving a fighter. And, you know, it happens at different stages of guys. Some guys go on to 40 and some guys are finished by the time they're 25. This depends on the individual, the human. And what I saw there with Marcus Browne was not the Marcus Browne that I know and have seen in the past. He's got to ask himself questions. But also, what I saw there with Brandon Glanton at this ripe old age is a guy that seems to have learned from the losses, you know, have fed off the losses and come back stronger. That was good, man. That was impressive.
Absolutely, and you can see both of them, the spirit of respect and, of course, sportsmanship there, Denzel.
Yeah, like you said, you want to see some sportsmanship after the fight, and we're getting it here now. But like Spencer said, I mean, only these two can share this experience. There's a newfound respect for someone when you share the ring with them in a fight. We're beating each other up in there. By the time it's done, there's only right to you know, it's only right to show respect to each other because, you know, you took something from me, I took something from you. And you put something out there that no one else can share this experience. So it's only right you show respect, just as a fighter, as a warrior, just as a man to man, fighter to fighter. You go, you know what? I respect you for you know what we just done right there.
Okay, let's go to Ralph Chidozie George, the ring announcer, for the official verdict for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was scheduled for 10 rounds, but came to an end when the blue corner retired. And we have your winner by TKO in round number 6. Give it on for Brandon Bullet Bro.
He keeps his career alive. The fireworks go off above us here in Lagos, Nigeria, for what has been an absolutely fantastic night of boxing.
Chaos in the ring is what it's called, and what we saw bringing the whole thing down was absolute chaos.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, just beat him into submission like you guys said earlier. It's getting really loud here. The fireworks are going off. The crowd are blowing horns. And what an atmosphere it's been in Nigeria. My first time here, and I've enjoyed it, and I've loved the boxing. Congratulations to Brandon Glanton for putting on such performance. Commiserations to Marcus Browne, he'll be back. And
let's go straight back into the ring. Of course, Charlotte Dahl is there, about to talk to the champion.
You tonight, you said you were going to do it, but a lot of emotion coming from you right now. What are you feeling in this moment?
I feel amazing. Game brand boxing, stand up! Stand up! You see it? Ah! I love it. I love it. Hey, Derek, let me get my flowers, dog. Come on, man. I feel great.
You felt underappreciated going into this fight. I heard you saying to the crowd, what are you saying now? Nobody's talking. Do you feel like you've won them over?
Yeah, almost. I got to do it one more time. I gotta do it one more time. I wanna do it for 12 though. And make it count. Hey. Easy. Dr. Ezekiel, can we get a strap? Can we run it back, get a strap? I'll give that black man another chance. We in Nigeria, why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, let him have it.
You want to have it back?
Let him have it, we can run it back.
Okay.
Do it again, let me do it for 12.
For 12?
For 12, let me get a strap.
What type do you want?
Shit, whatever you can get, I'll take it. Don't matter. I ain't greedy.
Look, Brandon, before this.
Great. Man, obviously thank the promotion, AK Promotions, more Promotions, JB, Dr. Ezekiel, everybody, my mom, dad, Doc, Ari Kramer, Jason Jones, Melvin Diaz, my team, Larry, Kenny, Charlie, everybody who put into it. Barber Orthopedics, everybody, fight doctors, Dr. C, everybody, thank you for giving me another shot, for letting me come in, no catch weights, no weight tricks. We appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. This win is especially sweet. Go ahead and kill it for you so you ain't gotta do all that. Especially sweet, not because it was the most money or the biggest titles. I was disrespected by another man. We put our pants on the same. I disrespected somebody in English. I'll never do that again. I didn't appreciate being disrespected. I didn't appreciate the comments that were made. I didn't appreciate back in 2019 when all this took place. Either way, I'm happy to be here. We're out of the past. I ain't got no hate for that, man. I won. That's it. The meme y'all made, we can keep that a meme. I told you that boy was gonna quit. I told you.
Look, he started very fast.
Yeah, I told you the boy was cold. I told you he could fight. It wasn't never a thing if he couldn't fight. But they said I couldn't box. It's all boxing. Power, outside boxing, inside boxing, holding, great hands. You got Caleb Plants, you got Mike Tyson, you got Amir Khan's, you got Mikey Garcia's, you got Brendan Glanton. It's all different. I ain't gotta be fancy. I'm rough.
Look, you called out Ramirez. You were saying that you wanted Opetaya. What is next for you, and are those guys on the plan now?
What's next? Well, that pretty young lady, I'm gonna take her on a vacation. I ain't been on vacation in years, so we're going on vacation, Jazz. After that, I'll get back to work.
Amazing. Congratulations on your win. Amir, incredibly successful event for you. Is this the future now? Can we expect lots more events coming from you?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I think this event was amazing. I want to say a big thank you to Nigeria. They were amazing. And Brandon, big well done to you, champ. But we want to announce that December 19th, we're going to be back in Nigeria for another big fight. So guys, are you ready for 19th of December? We're going to be back. Make some noise. Let's go.
Ade.
Formidable opposition there. And you can see him trying to smother his opponent. And of course, you got to give the flowers to Marcus Browne as well, who stood in there, you know, tried to withstand the onslaught coming from Brandon Glanton. But he huffed and puffed, drew his own shots as well. But Glanton was not going to be denied. He just kept surging forward all through this. And been an absolutely amazing night. What a way to pull the curtain, to draw the curtain down on this absolutely amazing night of boxing. Chaos in the ring, it is called, and it's been absolute chaos right from the evening that we've been having this fight. And of course, it started off on a Wednesday, Nigeria's Independence Day, 1st of October, and what a way to finish off everything just well into the next day, 2nd of October. All men will be back, getting themselves back to work and everything after the celebration of independence right here. And we're going to be wrapping things up just in a moment as well. It's been a very long night, but it's been an absolutely rewarding one. Fantastic fights we have seen. Some solid performances from the likes of one of Nigeria's favorites, if not the favorite, the most favorite in Nigeria. Talking about Taiwo Eshekpo Agbaje, who fought earlier. We also had Dan Aziz, who is a British boxer of Nigerian descent. You just heard from Shalo and Ade earlier on saying that, you know, Dan Aziz fighting for the first time in his fatherland. And of course, you can see Brandon really enjoying himself when he came into the ring with the Nigerian map. It's all set for the final one, a final hurrah for this one. It's Naira Marley coming up to wrap it up. But from here at the commentaries, this is where we sign off. And on behalf of my colleagues from the commentary box, Spencer Oliver and Denzel Bentley, I am Nero Adesoya. You love to call me the man who loves boxing. We'll be back